Hey guys, alright, Witchy Wednesday. So yes, winged liner to cut a bitch with. So, I kind of wanted to actually review the movie, The Witch. The Witch. Has anybody seen it? Spoilers. Spoiler alert. It's seriously an incredible movie. It starts off very, very, very slow. Super slow. It starts with a family in 17th century New England. And at the same time, in 17th century Salem, the same mass hysteria was happening too. So it all starts with the family being excommunicated from their Puritan beliefs. Puritan beliefs, which are very corrupt, as we have all found. Synchronistically, we have found out that, the Puritans have left that imprint in America. And, yes, I will get to my point, but the family gets excommunicated from their village, from their church, for being too prideful. So, we have the man, we have the mother, we have the husband, we have the two twins, then we have the daughter, God, what's her name? Thomason. Strange name for a girl. Perfectly acted. I mean, her acting was amazing. It was incredible. And then we have the goat. And it's just so incredible. So I want to start out with the beginning when they get excommunicated. Because he is too prideful. He's too prideful. He takes too much pride in what he has done. Is how I took it. They excommunicated him because he was a freethinker. He thought outside of the box. So they said, off with you. You can go live outside in this supposed, I guess, there's a witch that lives in those, that far off the woods, a little bit from their own little colony, almost. I want to say colony. The set, the props, incredible. Those people actually had to learn how to farm. I thought that was amazing. They actually had to learn how to farm, so they could actually, and the Old English, it was just incredible. It was very incredible. And I really think it was great when Robert went back and he reviewed his own film and said, that he was actually scared to watch it because scary movies scare him. And he didn't realize what he had created through the Witch film, which I think is amazing. But yeah, my interpretation of it, all of them being excommunicated from the church because they were free thinkers. The women were considered to be sinful. They had to obey their husbands. It was the woman's work. It's a lot of female. There's not a lot of balance, I guess I want to say, because back then, in that 17th century period of time, they were very corrupt women. Everything was sinful, everything. So I don't care for that. But the disrespect for women, the disrespect for the human body, and it was just the disrespect for the mind, for thinking, for thinking, and I just think it was incredibly. It came together incredibly. Okay, what else? I had so much in my head earlier, so much. But yeah, them being excommunicated from their church, their plantation. The girl, she's starting to hit puberty, which is another type of transformation. The little boy lustfully looks at his sister, her breasts, and knows that he has already committed a sin, which is very strange. Very strange. His incestual lust for her is very well shown through the film. The incest is very well shown throughout the film too. Not altogether. I mean, it doesn't, it doesn't happen like that. I see it more of a, he doesn't have anybody else to look to, so he doesn't know. He's not getting the right education. They didn't have that kind of education back then. Sex education, education about the body, and all they did was, it was faith and farming, religion and farming. That's all they did. And then, they killed people because they thought they were witches. So it was all just like the Salem witch trials, hysteria. Very, very big hysteria. I love how the film starts. It starts off very slow. It builds, the suspense builds. And it's filmed in such a different type of right in your face. Okay, you're right in her face. When it zooms into her face or anybody at the film, it's just, there's so much more. You don't know what's going on. You want to know what's going on, but you don't know. You kind of know what she's thinking, but then again, you don't. So I love the whole camera aspect of how he did that, and just, it was seriously incredible. It's seriously incredible. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to give a review. I loved it. And it just, as the movie progressed, it almost took on more of a, I don't want to say evil. I don't want to say evil. To me, it was more of these people. They were trying to make it. The father obviously failed. The father lied. He was prideful, and certain disrespects towards God or Jesus. And when they are all, sitting around the table, there's a very prominent image that coincides with the Last Supper. So we can see again the pride taking place with the father, the male dominance of the entire family. It very much looks like the Last Supper. I do like that element. It's very cool. Then again, when the father is going out to chop wood, we see pride again. He's taking too much pride in what he is doing, his working, and the nudity, and him just having a towel wrapped around him. He's baring himself, he's exposing himself. And to them back then, that was sin, shameful. You were taught to cover yourself, your body, your head, everything. It was a very weird time period. The fact that everything actually came from folk tales, fairy tales, and legends. The fact that he actually went and he researched. It took him 5 years of research to get this film out. And I think it's incredible that he actually went and he researched back into history. And it's all based on true accounts. Folk tales, folklore, fairy tales, all of it. And it's just incredible. It's a very incredible film. So I left off with the father was chopping the wood and everything. Okay, then the baby. For some strange, odd reason, the daughter, the oldest daughter, not the two twins, the daughter, what's her name again? Thomason. Still a strange name for a girl. But her acting, still amazing and fabulous. I loved it. Where was I? I forget where I was. The baby. Okay, she's at the river, which is, they were forbidden to go into the, past the river into the woods. So that would represent to me their own Garden of Eden. With everything that was bad happening, they blamed it on, started to blame it on witchcraft. There was a witch in the woods. The Witch of the Woods. And jokingly, Thomasin, the oldest daughter, told her 2 younger twins, siblings, that she was the Witch of the Woods. Just to kind of stir them up, just to kind of get them to get in line. She did it. She was very serious about how she told them that she was the Witch of the Woods. I love the fact that she literally did scare them to death, because those 2 were riding around on little twigs, and it was just incredible how she scared them. And then the baby. This is where I don't understand what happened. Okay, the baby. Thomasin is playing with the baby. She covers her eyes and she says boo, and then the baby's gone. Thomasin, later on in the movie, she goes ahead and she says that the Witch of the Woods actually took the baby. So, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. There's so much folklore. And I still have to watch it again to actually wrap my head around the entire concept of the movie, to get to where I want to understand it. It's still, the symbology and everything was just incredible. So, they were, not to go into the woods. The father sold some items. One item traded with Indians, Indian magic, a silver cup of his wife to, I don't know, I don't know why he did it. I think it was either for food or for luck, something, crops. I'm not 100% sure. And then we get into the mother, who goes completely psychotic. She starts to disobey the husband, which was a huge no-no in those days. And the Bible clearly, obviously states that, the wife will be submissive to their husbands, and literally get down on their hands and knees and kiss their asses, which is bullshit. Complete bullshit. So yes, it's just such a good movie. Such a good movie. I wish you guys could watch it with me. So, okay, where was I? Yeah, I've watched it 5 times now, and it's still wrapping around my head. I'm still trying to figure this out. So after Thomasin, the oldest daughter, tells the 2 twins that she is the Witch of the Woods, the weird stuff starts to happen. The superstitions that they believed that still carry on to today, which is crazy, very crazy. So, Thomasin starts to notice, when she goes out, she's taking on more responsibility now, since the baby, her baby was taken from the Witch of the Woods. The mother went, she blew a gasket. She went completely psychotic, and she started to become more rebellious against her husband, disrespecting her husband. Thomasin starts to find that the chickens are laying eggs. When she goes to pick them up, they are almost, they're not fully developed, but they still have a little bit of the blood and everything in them. Gross. Very gross. So that would represent to me, again, that would reference back to, that was weird. I don't know what that was. that would reference back to the unborn child that Thomason had, or that the mother had. And it was unbaptized, so it was unclean. And she was so worried that, the baby is burning in hell. So all this, superstitious stuff starts to happen to the farm, to the family. At first the father, he appears to be very manly, very strong, very powerful, very overpowering of their small colony that they built. And later on you see how he fails in his own decline. And he gave into temptation. And yeah, I don't want to spoil too much for people that haven't seen it. The twins, well, no, the youngest boy, the boy that lustfully looks at his sister. So that is his coming into puberty. And then he becomes possessed or witched. And they all turn against Thomason, the oldest. Because back then they wanted, when the daughter was hitting puberty, they would sell their daughter to another plantation or another person or a family. And they thought that would bring them closer, the mother and the daughter closer together. So it never happened. It never did happen. She never got sold to any other plantation or family or anything, which I'm very glad for. The one that lustfully looked at Thomason, the boy, he actually saw the witch in the woods, and he got a kiss from her. She appeared to be a very beautiful woman. And then it kind of takes a different turn. It spins. It just spins around. He's back at home, and he is in bed, witched, as they call it, scared, and he's in bed, and he's just having all these convulsions and praying and weird things, which would be hysteria or mental illness in this day and age. And then all of a sudden, the boy, they're all praying for the boy. The twins start to jumble their words. They get so scared, and I really feel that the scare tactic of everybody just being around that boy and what was going on, and Thomason actually filling their heads with I'm the witch. I think that contributed a lot to what was going on with the boy and the girl twins. They started to not remember their prayers. So instantly the mother, looks to the daughter as, you're the witch, you witched them. And then it turns into a huge confession. And it's terrible how the mother treats her. Thomason was the poor woman, that poor girl, they completely just disenfranchised her and disempowered her and tore her down completely, stripped her of everything. So, two twins are now laying in the bed, and they are, after the boy dies, he raises up, and out comes an apple, which would, to me, represent from the Garden of Eden, the snake, temptation, knowledge, which nothing is wrong with knowledge. And then he dies. The father wanted to actually take Thomason and the boy. He wanted to take Thomason to sell her, to get rid of her. And the boy and Thomason both have heard during the night their mother and their father talking of this, of how they want to get rid of her, how they want her off the plantation. And it doesn't happen. And I'm very glad it doesn't happen, or it would ruin the story. So, again, if the father would have actually taken the boy and the daughter back into New England, they would he would have lived. You can't rely on faith to heal you. You do need doctors. The father was completely right to want to go back and actually, try to help his family. He was actually trying to help his family, but he completely failed. And I just think, back then, since, 17th century Puritans, and if you are anything less than what you're expected to be as a man in that time, in that type of society, I think that aided him. It aided him, and it just kept eating at him. And it just eventually went to his, it led to his demise, his death. I don't completely understand the movie fully yet, so I'm just kind of interpreting bits and pieces that I think are incredible. So, let's see, where was I? Thomason, yes. Okay. The baby's dead. The son's dead. The two kids finally snap out of it. When they do snap out of it, the father actually takes them and puts them in the goat pen. It's like a shack, the hut, and he locks them in there. He boards them up to think about their sins. So that secluded them even more. And the only goat that they were in there with was the black goat, which I think is amazing. And to me, the goat would represent the horned god. And I'm sure it did represent the horned god for a lot of actual, cunning folk back in that time. So, the two twins finally decide to ask their sister. That was a car. That's how fast people fucking drive down this road. And if they kill my dog, I'll be the witch of the fucking woods. Anyways, so yeah, Thomason really asks, or the two twins really ask Thomason, are you really a witch? Have you witched us? And no, she's not a witch. She made it all up. But in the back of her mind, that she's still thinking, well, this freedom, she's thinking of this freedom that she's got. Well, then Thomason asks the two twins, does the goat really talk to you? And they say yes. And so supposedly back then, the devil would come as a black goat, and he would whisper. So that's where that ends. That's where that scene ends. And this is where it gets really fun, and it gets really suspenseful. Okay, the father, he comes out to see. I'm pretty sure the two twins were dead. Which is very weird to see. Very weird to see. The two twins were dead. The other boy had already died. Thomason was laying there with blood on her face. And he goes to confront her. And then boom, the black goat, rears him right in the stomach and kills him. So, and all of his wood that he chops, so that's his demise. He was no more. He's gone out of the picture. Crazy way to die from a goat. So that was the demise. This is their colony just totally being corrupted. Now, the mother comes out. She sees the two dead twins. She sees the dead father. She targets Thomason, the daughter. Completely freaks out, calls her a witch, and tries to get her to confess her sins. She tries to kill her daughter. Tries to kill her own daughter out of hysteria. Yes, it is just like fire. So the mother and Thomason start to fight. And really what she's doing is she's just protecting herself. She loves her mother, she loves her family, she loves God. Obviously they all did. They all did. But they had so much fear put in them and conditioned that way that it just led to their falling. It led to their demise, their entire colony in life. So the mother, she freaks, flips her lid, goes after the daughter, tries to kill her. She starts to choke the daughter. Thomason grabs what it looks like to be a meat cleaver and just bashes her, starts bashing her in the head. Takes me back to Lizzie Borden, which you can definitely feel the remorse and the, oh my God, what did I just do? When she kills her mother. So she finally gets her mother off of her. She has her mother blood all over her. She's stained. That would represent being stained to me. So she goes inside. She sits down. All her family's dead. So she's got nothing now. She's left alone. She's completely left alone. And then this is where I think she starts to really think, okay, maybe I am the Witch of the Woods. Maybe she did create and cause all of this hysteria and this crazy killing spree and bad crops, and maybe she was the one. The mother actually signed the book too. Did anybody catch that? The mother signed the book. I just want to throw that out there. I don't know if anybody caught that. But she did. She signed that damn book. So Thomason wakes up. She wakes up, she undresses. She still has blood right here on her breasts. Another symbol of maturity, coming into her own. She's starting, to become a woman. And where was I going? So she undresses, and then it's nighttime. And she stands up. And she goes to look around, and all she sees is that one goat, the black goat. So she walks out to it, and she says something along the lines of, I conjure thee to speak to me. She says something along those lines. And after a few minutes, she starts to walk away in disbelief. And then you hear the goat start to talk. It whispers. So, she doesn't know how to write. Thomason does not know how to write her own name. The goat turns into a man, a very handsome, dark, tall man with big boots, very manly, offering her a second chance, offering her freedom, offering her more than what her Puritan life, Christian life, could have offered her. Knowledge, power, empowerment, embracing her own body, embracing her own sexuality. And he guides her hand. She tells him that, she does not know how to write her own name, and he whispers that he will guide her hand in the book, and he does. And then it just completely switches scenes. You see her now, and the music is what makes it. The music makes it. It's crazy, crazy, creepy music. I wanted to play it and have a background playing, but I don't want copyright infringement. So, very creepy music, but very cool. So, she heads out into the woods, completely naked. Now she looks a lot more grown up. She looks more of an adult, a woman. She sees all the people, the witches, dancing around the fire. Which, if you go back into all the folk tales, all the lore of witchcraft, you will see the obvious, the flying ointment, how it's made from the unbaptized baby fat, which would represent what they were doing, like I said. And she approaches them And then boom, there's the goat, the black goat again. I just love that goat. I know his name is Billy the goat. Not in real life. Or Charlie the goat. It's in real life, its name. And then she comes up to the hill. There's a giant hill. All these people, women, all women, being empowered, feeling free. She sees these women on sticks, and very, very sexual. They're very sexual. They all start to rise up, and they all start to dance up in the air in ecstasy. And Thomason feels, you see her face. It's that very close up. You don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden you see the ecstasy on Thomason's face, and she starts to raise up, and then you see her transform. Her hair is completely long and white, blondish. As you see her, she raises higher than the other witches that were actually at the Sabbath. So she actually raises up quite a bit higher up into the woods, and her hair turns dark, and she looks like a woman, completely different. And that's the end of the movie. So what does it mean to me? Freedom. The goat represents freedom. The goat offered her what Christianity could not offer her. Her family destroyed her. Her family. It was literally mother against mother, father, siblings, all against one person. And being that, growing up with that kind of lifestyle, and having those chains in your brain that everything you do is a sin. Being a woman is a sin. Starting your period is a sin. Puberty is a sin. All of that is a sin. No wonder she chose to go with the goat and for freedom. That's my interpretation. That is my interpretation. She was finally free. Free of the shit that she had to go through. I mean, it's just terribly sad that her family did that to her. And it's still, America is still like that. Puritan beliefs have left such a huge impact, and they are the most superstitious people in this entire world. I love you, Ganny, so much. She was the most superstitious person in this world. Black cats, mirrors, all of it. Ladders, no. A 5-minute trip would turn it into an hour trip if there was a black cat. God love her. I see her. She's laughing. She's laughing now. But yeah, it just represented freedom to me. Coming into your own, and freedom. Incredible movie. Incredible. So I do highly recommend that you guys watch it. Go back and read the folk tales of New England and compare them to 17th century New England and Salem. It's amazing. It is incredible. I think he did amazing with the sets, everything. And I'm completely blown away. Blown away by that film. Even though it does, start out very slow and it leads up to its suspense, it is so worth it. So worth it. But the big main themes are nudity and blood, and puberty, and coming into yourself, and realization, and knowledge, and being you. And, she couldn't express herself. She didn't know any other way of life. They didn't. The girls had different teachings than the boys did. The women were considered more sinful than the men, which I think is ridiculous. We have come a long way with that, but I still see a lot of the hysteria of what happened in the movie, and I can still place it in the world today. But very good film, amazing film. But yes, it just represents, there's so many different people that will have a different opinion about this. but to me it just represented freedom. Freedom. She finally got out of that hell that she was in, and she rose above it all. She rose above all of it. She was the last one standing, and that just goes to show how powerful, if you stand your ground and you stand for what you believe in and you fight. She fought for her life, which is very admirable. Very admirable for that kind of a young woman back in that time period, 17th century, fighting for her own life and winning and succeeding, triumphing over all of it. The witchcraft, I don't think there was actual witchcraft going on. Maybe charms. As you can see in their new house, they do have charms hanging on each. I think they have one for each family member. Indian corn, and that is to protect the family and ensure a good harvest. So they really went against, they clashed big time in their beliefs and everything. But it was seriously incredible. Incredible. I will have to watch it again. And then I want to write a blog on it too, because I think it's just the best. The best. I kind of hope there's... I can't wait to see what other films that he has in store for us. And I just think it's incredible that, he grew up in, New England, and that was just, the scenery and everything, and he actually, those huts were built. It was real farmland, real everything, and it was incredible. It was very incredible. Very, very good filmmaker. And the message, if you really look at the message and find the message, freedom, knowledge, liberation, it's incredible. It's very, very incredible. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I've gone on quite a bit about this. Whoa, I just about knocked my entire desk over. You guys would have fell on me. So yes, I highly recommend it. The Witch. Definitely watch it. Definitely watch it. And also, the Church of Satan, did they help fund it? Or something? I heard. Just a rumor. I don't know. God forbid I offend anybody. So I don't know. But it was still an incredible film. Incredible. And I find it very, synchronistic in with what we had just done with our ritual for the new moon and empowerment and taking back our power. The synchronicities are incredible. I just love it. I love it. And yeah, that's Witchy Wednesday. I've never really done a film review. I've done book reviews. I can do those like crazy. But a film review? Fucking hard. It's really fucking hard to do a film review. I still need to do one on American Mary. But yes, very good film. The Witch. Get it, iTunes. Yes, it's out on iTunes. You can buy it. It's very well worth it. Blah. And I'm also very glad and happy for a dear friend, Darren Evans and Rosemary Ellen. The Zozo Phenomenon is coming. Pre-order soon. So, I will provide links for that. I will provide a link to where you can purchase The Witch. And yeah, that's Witchy Wednesday, guys. I hope you like this video. A little different than usual. A lot different than usual. So yeah. I think I'm gonna watch it again tonight. just to kind of get more of a feel for it. Jill, thank you for the recommendation. Totally worth it. Now, to get my mother to watch it, which will never happen, ever. So yes, I'm very excited for you guys to see this film. And yeah, that's my review. Simple, I think. I hope. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. So yes, everybody, all your emails with the Shungite, holy crap, you guys are amazing, seriously amazing. I am so happy that you guys finally got your orders through. Email them and bitch. I'm dead serious, email them. Go to live chat. Tell them who you're ordering from. If you put my name in your bonus code at checkout, Ryan in all cap locks, you get 5% off on top of 50% off, free shipping in the United States. So, I do have more candles coming too. Some different things that are very speaking to me. So, I will kind of give hints. Pine cones, acorns, wands. That's it. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But yes. So, I hope you guys liked my review of The Witch. Very good movie. Very good film, so go watch it. Seriously. Go watch it. And that concludes Witchy Wednesday. And yes, all my tests came back A-okay. A-okay. Nothing is wrong up here. Stress and anxiety. It's called a mental breakdown. And this, folks, is what we call a mental breakdown. From what I understand, the doctors, what they said for me is that my Klonopin and my antidepressant is doing its job. It's just that my central nervous system gets too overwhelmed with certain stimuli. One voice can trigger like that, and I start to shake, literally start to just tremble, and my jaws, I can't even do that because it hurts so bad, start to, and it's not necessarily epilepsy or seizures, it's just a form of anxiety, an anxiety attack. I've never had an anxiety attack, I've had panic attacks, and it's just crazy. So I'm 100% fine and healthy. So all of your prayers and everything, I love you guys to death. I could cry, but I won't because my antidepressants won't let me, so thank God. So yes, I'm very excited for you guys to watch this film, and yes, everything is just coming together and it's just incredible. All the fan art you guys are sending me, I love it. I love it. More prints are going out today. Promise. More prints. I'm working on some candles today. And those keywords, acorn, pine cone, wand, all coming together. Something is coming together. It's in the works. So, alright guys, that's it for Witchy Wednesday. Very long Witchy Wednesday, almost an hour. So I'm gonna shut the hell up now. Alright guys, I love you all very, very, very much. Very much. So, I hope you all have a great day. I do want to plan another ritual soon. Maybe the full moon. Maybe just a full moon, a regular full moon ritual. Just a regular full moon ritual for healing. We all need money. We all could use extra money. Maybe money, healing, health, wealth, maybe heighten her psychic abilities. Don't know. So I do want to do a full moon ritual. So let's think about that, because we do have 3 days before. We have the full moon, and then we have 3 days after. So we have actually, 7 days to actually have a ritual. So I think that's incredible. And yes, I just have so much going through my head, so I'm just gonna shut up and blog it. Alright guys, I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, everybody. I love you all with all my heart. And go watch The Witch. Promise, it is amazing. So, alright guys, I love you all.